Good day, everyone. My name is Maria Kądzielska, and you are watching Poland Daily Culture. Today we continue with the story of the greatest Polish verse spinner, Adam Mickiewicz, the poet who is considered Polish Lord Byron. And if you haven't heard about him, it's high time to catch up. Either watch our previous episodes or stay with us today. And when it comes to politics, of course, there is the element of partition and Russian Empire in the background. And the most important political figure which Mickiewicz was romantically in love with, and he didn't look at him that objectively as he could, was of course Napoleon. Napoleon was the last chance for Poland to gain some sort of independence. That's why it is beautifully described in Pentadeusz, and Will, it's high time for you to read this part.
Such were the pleasures and the petty strife of peaceful Lithuanian country life, when all the world in blood and tears was drowned, and that man-god of war, his troops around him like a cloud, and armed with guns untold, who yoked the silver eagles with the gold. From the Libyan desert to the Alps was winging his bolts on Pyramid and Tabor flinging, Ulm, Austerlitz, Marengo. In the van the gods of victory and conquest ran. The fame of deeds so rich in heroes' worth went roaring from the Nile far to the north, till it was thrown back on Nieman's banks, as by the rock before the Russian ranks, which shielded Lithuania with a fence against the news they feared like pestilence.
So there's a lot of romantic ideas about Napoleon being the last chance for Poland. We even have him in our national anthem.
No, he's very popular in Poland. The French are generally popular in Poland, I think you'd have to say.
Because of this time, when our greatest artists were living in two spheres. They were living in the French society, and they were still producing pieces of literature or music in Polish. Chopin was even half French, we have to say this.
It's not that he's wholly Polish. There is a French connection, hence the name, for example. If you look at the influence of French culture, it was extremely strong up until the end of the Second World War even. And something happened, I guess the modern world intervened and changed those practices, the salon and conversation, staying up all night and talking about art and books and doing all those kind of things that gradually died out, you know.
With coming of
television, for example, and movies. Well, movies not so much, but television.
American hegemony and English language.
That's right, English, because the French were the people at that time, weren't they? I mean, that was the culture which was prized above all. They had the best writers and painters. All the movements came from there. Everyone wanted to go to Paris, and that's what I meant. Even up till World War II, the writers, I mean, Hemingway and all those people had gone. Scott Fitzgerald, John Dos Passos, as Americans had gone. All the British, Polish people were still going to Paris, you know.
And meeting there all each other, another great poet and painter, Stanisław Wyspiański, who definitely had a lot in common with Mickiewicz and had something which Maria Janion later called romantic fever. Was mimicking Mickiewicz ways, and of course went to Paris as well for his educational trip. As we're talking already about English and Anglo-Saxon world, let's ask ourselves, when was the first translation to English of Pentadeusz?
Good question.
Can you guess?
When was, a wise one, when was the first translation?
Well, it was in 1885.
Okay.
So pretty quickly in London, made by a man called Maud Biggs. who translated it Master Thaddeus.
Okay, so obviously a silly name was no hindrance to being a good translator. Yeah.
Well, later Watson Kirkconnell tried it.
Another silly name.
George Noy.
So they picked people whose names would be confusing even to English people to translate Polish. Okay.
One important, which we should mention, is published in 2004 in Sydney by Marcel Wayland.
Mm-hmm.
And it was later published in New York, London, and Sydney. And this one, which we have here, you can check out who is the translator.
In here?
Yes.
I hope it's a name that I can pronounce.
Try it.
Being this is easy. A good Scotsman, Kenneth R. Mackenzie.
And the one we have here
here
already is a 7th edition.
That's the 7th edition. Let me see what it says here. It says Pantadeusz, or The Last Foray in Lithuania, a tale of the gentry in the years 1811 and 1812. Right, as you say, under Napoleon. So this is crucial to the.
Absolutely, it's
1812 was when the march on Moscow, which was so disastrous for Napoleon, and pretty much ended it all.
I know. The only thing that the Russian winter killed this god of war.
Yes, and a good thing too, because he was above himself. I mean, wanting to be emperor after claiming to defend the Republic. I mean,
Gentlemen, the Grand Army will attack, and music playing at the head. We have no more need to hide now.
I mean, it was good for Poland, but there's a lot of the jury's still way out on Napoleon.
And so thank you very much for watching Poland Daily Culture.